All right, so let's step into Photoshop and let's click over here. Now it's going to be a square flyer, and so I'm going to keep the dimensions as I usually do all the time. Good. So I'm going to keep here 2000 here pixels. Let's call it B-Day flyer. All right, and then here 72, and then RGB color 8-bit. Click on create. Now let's go to view, and then let's go to new guide layout. I'm going to no, let's go to new guide layout, and then let's set it to 5. Let's set it to 5 to 0.25 across board, and then let's click on OK. Now we have something like this, very beautiful, right? Let's start with our background. Now if you've been watching my videos, you know I always start with the background, and I'm going to create certain effects as well. I want you to watch it throughout. You are really going to learn something new today, and I'm going to tell you why I am doing what I'm doing right now. Okay, so let's start with a solid color. Okay, now this is very important. I want you to stay throughout this entire video. Is FBDBDB. All right, now I'm using this particular color because it also works with the image. These colors really speak to each other very well. And then I'm also going to give it this one. That's a new layer. Click on my brush to come here, pick a soft round brush, and then I'll make sure I increase the size of the brush. Nice. And then I'll come here, set the color over here to color white, and then I'll click somewhere here. Now Control T, and then let's resize it a little bit more. Something like this is quite great. Okay, now I'm going to keep this in a group. The intention of doing this is I want to create it like it's a space, like the sky. Okay, so the white sky, like the sun is coming out of there like that. That's the mindset I'm having right now. Okay, let me bring in some flowers. Let me bring in this one. Okay, drag it in there, and then I would resize it, something like this. Drag it somewhere here. Okay, and then I'm also going to go for this one as well, and then drag it in there. Okay, now if it's a guy, definitely I wouldn't use this particular one, because guys, well, unless it's a romantic stuff. No, ladies like flowers and stuff like that. So I'm going to put it in a group, and then I'm going to call it main flowers. All right, and then also, like I told you, I want it to look like it's the sky. And what are some of the things you see in the sky? You are going to see balloons like this in the sky, right? Because they were meant to be in the sky. Okay, and I'll take it a little bit, and I'll push it somewhere here. We're meant to be in the sky, so I'm going to keep it something like this. Then I'm going to bring this one as well, drag it in there. Now I don't know what you can also maybe bring in some things like birds, aeroplanes. All those stuff are things you find them in the sky. Okay, we want to create a perfect illusion. Now this particular one, I am going to reduce the size or the opacity here to 76. Okay, I want it to blend in there nicely. This one as well. Maybe let me increase it to 78. Decrease it to 78. Okay, now it blends into the background nice. Maybe I might go a little bit further. Once I get there, I realize I need to do so. And then I also need to blur it. Let me go to blur. Let me go to Gaussian blur. That's blur here, sorry, and then go to Gaussian blur. Okay, and then I'm going to set it over here to 7.4. all right, and that is nice. 7.4. I also don't want the color to really mess with these particular colors, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click over here, and then I'm going to click on hue and saturation, clip it to it so that it works only on this particular image, and then I'm going to click on colorize. You see, but I don't like this particular color, and so I'm going to drag the hue here all the way down here like that. And then over here, the saturation, I need to boost the saturation a little bit, so I give it 65. I think 65 is too much. Let me reduce it a little bit. Okay, so I think 53 I think is good. I'm going to leave it at 53. Now let's come over here as well. I'm going to give it hue and saturation. I'm going to clip it to it as well. I don't want this color to be there, so guess what I'm going to do? I am going to clip it to it. I'm going to click on colorize. I don't like this color, so I'm going to drag it all the way here as well. And then over here, perhaps I'll give it 45. Let me see. No, not here. Not here. Here is 0, right? Let's give here 45. Let's see. Let's give here 50. Let's see. Alright, so I think 50 is good for this one. Alright, but over here We also need to make sure it is blurry, so Control D, or you can go all the way to Gaussian blur. Let me cancel it. Let me show you how I do it. Go to filter, go to blur, go to Gaussian blur. All right, and then let's set it over here to let's see 9.4 will do. That way it looks quiet in the distance, but I still think it's quite pronounced. So let's reduce it a little bit. Let's reduce the to 59, and then this one, let's reduce it a little bit more to 55. All right, so now it looks perfect. I think it looks perfect. I'm going to put it in a group, and I'm going to call it balloon and glow. That means I need to add a little glow to it. So I'll click over here, and then make sure my opacity is 100% here, 100% here, and then over here, click here, set it to color white, and then click somewhere here. Now Control T, let's resize it, something like that. Isn't this beautiful? All right, so something like this, and then let's close it. Now it's beginning to stand out a little bit, but we need to also bring our image in there so that we can really understand what is happening. I'll bring my image in there, and then I would increase the size and then drag the image somewhere here. Okay, now bring our lines. Let's drag this line in the middle as well. Okay, you want your image to be in the middle of everything. Okay, so you can see over here, I feel like it's in the middle, and then maybe the main flowers, maybe I'll drag it here a little bit. I feel like it's in the middle too, and so I like it that way. For this particular, what else do I do? Let me give it a mask. Let me click on my brush, reduce the size of the brush, and then let's mask here. Okay, so make sure here's color black, here is 100%, 100%. Smoothing is maybe 10% is good, and then we are using a soft round brush, and then click over here. Make sure you click over here, and then mask it, and that is it. And so let's put it in a group. Let's call it image. Guys, anytime you are designing, make sure you organize your folders here or your layers here very nicely. All right, so I think this is good so far. The next thing is, let's type happy birthday over here, HBD, just so people will know it's happy birthday. I also want to use a font I have never used for my tutorials before. This is the first time I am using this font, and guys, you get to see it. Let me click on Manthan1. It is going to be in the description for you to download. Go to my channel, and then go to this video, the description, click on it. It will send you to my blog, and then you follow it over there, and then you download it. Okay, so here is going to be regular. Now the size over here, I'm going to choose 174. Awesome. The tracking here is going to be 0. Make sure here is bold, and then click over here to make sure everything is, just in case, just in case it's not in capital letters or whatever it is. Just click over here as well, and then let's give it a different color. Let's give it C5276D. Click on OK. All right, let's give it some few layer styles. I like to give it a stroke, and then I'll click over here, set it to 29, set here to outside, set here to normal, set here to 100%, the opacity to 100%, click here, set it to white. And then we are not yet done, so you can see how it looks like over here. If you can't see it, please click over here on the preview, and then you'll be able to see it live over here. Now let's also go to drop shadow. I want us to see some shadows in there as well, so I'll set here to multiply, click here, set here to color black, set here to the opacity here to 90 or 70%, okay, so that we can see it quite visibly. The angle over here, let's set it to 121. Okay, I want it to be like the sun is blowing from here and the shadow will come here. So the sun will blow from here, the shadow will come over here. That is how I want it to be like. Over here, I'll set it to 26 so that it will stand out a little bit. You can see it. And then over here, I'll set here to 25 as well, so that it will become a little bit visible as well. And I think that is all. I'll set it to 21, leave here like this, click on OK. Now it shows. Let's come here, let's type Ophelia. Make sure this is off, okay, so that it looks like that. And let's drag it over here. And then we are still using Manthan 1. That's the font we'll be using most often. Okay, so now with this particular font, we still want to make sure is still regular here. The font size, let's reduce it to 50, and then over here let's set it to 5, or let's say 700. Okay, make it more longer. Okay, and then we can drag it somewhere here. Now with your own eyes, you can just find a way to make sure it's in the middle, and I think that is good. Also, we need to click over here to make it bold, and we need to change the color. So let's come over here, let's click on 170504, a little bit darker so that people can see it. And then let's put it in a group, and let's call it HBD. Nice, nice, nice. Now underneath it, I think I might add some few elements as well, but for now let us continue. Let's type over here O B, no O B, yeah. Let's see whether we got it. Yeah, Ophelia. We got it. We are still using Manthan as well. Manthan 1 regular here, and then the size over here, let's use 325. Enter. All of a sudden, and then over here let's keep it minus 50 over here, and then my phone is shrinking. All right, and then over here let's give it here let's give it 2E0B08. It's too noisy. Let me, guys, forgive me. Okay, let me put it on vibration. Okay, so that is it, and then maybe let's leave it like that, right? Let's leave it like that. Okay, let's leave it like that. Let's click here, let's drag it to the middle here, Control T, and then let's see whether we can keep it in the middle here as well. You can see the middle here, then drag it up a little bit. Why am I dragging it up? So that it hides the edge of the image over there. Okay, so I think this is good, but then this itself is not beautiful. We have to do something about it. So what are we going to do? We need to go to the layer styles, double click here, and then let's make it more beautiful. Okay, or give it some more style. This looks too boring. The first thing I want us to do to it is bevel and emboss. Click over here. You can see it's doing something a little bit to it. You're going to set here, click over here, set here to inner bevel, set here to soft chisel, set here to 84, set here to up, set here to 18, 7 over here, angle to 90, altitude to 30, and then let's see, what else are we going to do? This one, what should we do to it? Let's see. Nah, let's leave it as this. Okay, don't touch it, let's leave it like that. And then over here, set here to screen, click over here, guys. Now pay particular attention to this. Click over here, set the color code here to F66789. Okay, set here to multiply, click over here, set here to 37020F. all right, click on OK. And then now that we are done with this, let's start with a stroke as well. We need to give it some stroke to also make it stand out a little bit more. And so the stroke, we are going to use 29 as usual. Set here to outside, set here to normal, the opacity set it to 100%, set here to color white, and that is it. Now let's come back to, let's see, satin. I need to give it a little bit of dark something in there as well. So satin, set here to multiply, set here to color black, set here to 50, set here to 90, set the distance to 30. Let me play with it. Set the distance to 30, leave it like that. Set the size also to 30, and then that is it. Click on OK. Now we're going to have this. I think this is better than the boring text, right? I think this is better. I don't know about you, but I love this. Okay, I'm going to put it in a group also. I'm going to call it name, and then let's start with some flowers. Okay, so let's drag this flower in here, and then we are going to dissect this flower. So I'm going to pick this one, and then I'm going to start the dissection from here. Oh no, let me use polygonal. Make sure caps lock is off. I'll start cutting from here. Control J, rush convert to smart object. Come back and click here, and then let's pick this one as well, and then Control J, rasterize, convert to smart object again. Click over here. This time, let's pick something like this. Control J, and then convert to smart object. Convert to smart object. Let's also pick any of this. Click over here, guys. Control J, convert to smart object. Now we can hide this one. Even better still, delete it because we don't need it again. Now this one, you need to move this one underneath this. Okay. So where is it going to be? This is HBD. Let's drag it underneath HBD, and then let's make it smaller like that, and bring somewhere here. Now we also want to blur it a little bit, so we are going to go to filter, we go to blur, we are going to motion blur. Alright, motion blur. Now motion blur, I want us to set it over here, the angle maybe around 72. I think the angle 72 is quite good, and then the distance over here, let's set it to 11. Okay, so you can see it over here like that. I think this is great. Nice. I'll call it flower 1. Now the rest of the flower, I'm going to keep them somewhere here. What is this one? Okay, this is another flower. This flower, let me see. I'll drag it somewhere here. Make it quite smaller. And then drag it into the Ophelia like that. Just a little bit of it. Okay, and then I'll still go to filter, blur, motion blur. Now motion blur, I am going to set here to 36. Let's see. Alright, and then I'm going to set here to 19 too. Nice. Okay, so something like this. I like how it looks like. Now with this particular one, I'm going to also reduce it. Okay, but I'm going to push it somewhere around where the A is. Okay, so something like this. You can still see, you still know it's A, right? And that is all that we need. I'll go to filter, I'll go to blur, and I'll go to Gaussian blur, and then I'll set here to 36 as usual, and then I'll set here to 19 as well, and then I'll click on OK. I like how it looks like. I'll do the same thing to this one as well. You can see this one. I'll do the same thing to it. Filter, blur, motion blur, leave it like that. 36, 19, like that, and then I'll drag it. I'll drag it somewhere here. Okay, so I think this stands out. Yeah, this stands out. Okay, so somewhere here is good. Now I want to keep everything in a group again, and then let's call it flower 2. So we are done with the flowers. Now let's bring in some details over here. Okay, and so I am going to type, hope all your birthday wishes come true. And I'm going to use Montserrat for this. And then for the Montserrat, I am going to keep it regular over here, and I'm going to set the size over here to 50. Let's see it very well. Let's drag it here, and then I'm also going to, oh, it's caps lock. Let me start all over again. Hope all your birthday wishes come true. Alright, so like that, and then the tracking here is going to be 0. Alright, and then bold over here, let's click over here. You're going to set it to the same color as 2E0B08. Okay, same color like that, and then Control H, make sure it is also middle aligned like that. Duplicate it, bring it down, and then we're going to type 24th. Oh, all right, and then with this one, that's using Montserrat. Let's make it 24th December, right? Doesn't really make a difference, but let's make it 21st December, 24th December, and then we're using Montserrat, but let's make it bold. Nice, and then let's make it -50. Okay, and then let's make it also 50 as well, and then make it bold here as well. the color here, let's change the color to 170504. Okay, more bolder, and then keep it in the middle, a little close. Let's see how it looks like. Bring this one down a little bit. I think this looks quite interesting, right? So let's call it date and message. Now here's where the magic is, guys. Now this is something I haven't done in any of my tutorials before. Okay, but I'm going to show you how I do it. You can click over here, pick this particular one, okay, and then over here set it to soft light. All right, it's going to stand out like this. Now you can choose to leave it like this. It doesn't really change anything. I mean, this is beautiful already, right? But what I want to do is I want to create a little matte effect, a little bit of it. So I'm going to go to levels, and then over here output levels. Okay, I'm going to change it to 45. All right, I like this one. I just like the way it blends with the background, I just like it like that. So I'm going to call it color grade. And ladies and gentlemen, that's how you create something like this. If you love this video, please hit the bell icon and then subscribe to this channel as well. I love you all, guys. See you in the next video. Peace.